Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Code Karen. Welcome to r/Am I the A, where we have three incredible stories. You decide where you stand. Are these people an A, or do you give them a pass? The last story really has me shaken up and speechless, which I am usually never. Please help me sort out the last Am I the A. Leave me a comment in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, a sub would be great. Let's jump to the stories. Our first story is, am I the A for pretending to get fired when customers lose their temper with me? I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. And Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad. So you have to be a grown A man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "This is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job. Please." And he played up being a hard A, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack like, "It isn't that big of a problem, you don't need to fire her over it, I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting, and we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who had come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying, making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank. To let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needed the money fired. So am I the a-hole for this joke? To my Code Karen community, do people have to learn that their actions have consequences even if it means getting fake fired? Comment below. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Our second story is, am I the A for planning my future brother-in-law's proposal at my wedding? Background. My wife comes from a very close-knit family. I'm not in contact with my own family, so I always loved them like my own. One thing about them though is that they're big on practical jokes. They don't record it or anything, but it gets extreme sometimes. Her dad even faked a heart attack. Last year, my wife and her sister got my future brother-in-law, sister-in-law's boyfriend, who I'll call Steve, good by getting one of their friends to pretend to be a girl from his past calling. Brother-in-law was a player back in the day, and said he was the father of her 5-year-old son. Steve was sweating and panicking for a good few hours till they revealed it was all a joke. He took it well, but vowed to get revenge. Issue. Last week was my wedding. Because of COVID, we didn't have a lot of guests. Only her family and like 5 of our friends. Steve was my best man, so we decided he could get payback for what happened before, so I gave him the idea. During the best man speech, Steve was a bit tipsy but pretended to be S-faced drunk. After a short speech about us, he looked at sister-in-law and started giving a heartfelt speech about how she was the love of his life, how she was the best girl in the world, proposal speech. Sister-in-law looked mortified and kept saying, "No, no, not like this." Then Steve got down on one knee and fished out his car keys from his pocket and said, "I love you and trust you more than anyone. I'm drunk, so please drive us home." Everyone was silent till father-in-law started laughing his head off, and everyone followed. By everyone, I mean less than 20 people. Even my wife, who looked like she was about to murder someone, was laughing. It was all in good fun, and sister-in-law seemed to take it well, until the following day when she chewed both of us up for playing with her feelings, and how we crossed the line. I told her she did far worse to Steve in the past, when she pretended he had a kid somewhere, and even once where she pretended she was cheating on him. I told my wife to never joke about infidelity, but whatever works for them, I guess. Father-in-law and my wife tried calming her down and trying to get her to see the funny side of it, but she wouldn't listen. Like I said, pranks are normal in this family, but sister-in-law is still upset about it. Steve is staying with us right now while sister-in-law is with their parents. They're not breaking up, by the way. Steve and I are starting to feel like S, but my wife assures us it wasn't bad, and they've done worse in the past. Am I the a-hole in this whole prank gone wrong? Our last story is, am I the A for reusing my kid's name? I, 22 male, started dating my ex when we were 16. Halfway through the next year, right before I turned 17 and she was still 16, she got pregnant. I was stupid, I know. It really wasn't ideal, but we wanted the baby, so we decided to make it work. My parents went ballistic, and I pretty much moved in with my girlfriend, whose family obviously weren't thrilled either, but were more accepting. We'd mostly picked out names and were pretty sure we had a boy name and probably a girl name. I know these may have changed slightly over the months, but at the time we were sure we had the names. She ended up miscarrying at about 14 weeks, which was obviously pretty rough, especially on her. But I was pretty upset too, and I still have weird feelings about it because I got used to the idea of having a kid that would be 5 now. And it's sad, but I kind of feel I was given a second chance by not becoming a dad at the beginning of my last year of high school. So I don't know, mixed feelings. My ex and I also broke up about a month after this. I'm not actively talking to my ex, but I have her on social media, and we still have 1 or 2 mutual friends, and I'm not exactly not talking to her. My current girlfriend is pregnant with a boy, and she's due at the end of October. My ex called me and screamed at me when she found out that the new baby has the same name that we would have given our baby if it had been a boy. I'd like to add that my dad's family has the tradition that the oldest son's middle name is the dad's name. This didn't happen with me because although I'm the oldest, I also had a twin brother, and my parents didn't want to do that, as we were really the same age. They gave my younger brother by 2 years my dad's name instead. My twin brother died, I think of SIDS, just before we turned 1, which I also feel weird about because obviously it's sad, but I really don't remember him, although sometimes I wonder what it would have been like to have an identical twin. He's in all my baby pictures, and I mostly can't tell if it's him or me. So the boy name we picked was a nickname of my twin's middle name and my dad's name for middle name. I won't pretend that I had this name picked out before my ex was even pregnant. You know, because I was 16. But I liked it and she agreed to it. I feel I have every right to use this name, but I can kind of see where she's coming from. It must be weird to lose a baby and then find out your ex is naming their new kid the same name. But I don't really see it as I'm in the wrong, and I think my ex is being a little unreasonable. I guess it would be different if it had been her favorite name ever, but the fact is, the meaning behind the name was connected to my family. My ex is also upset that I consider my new baby to be my first child, but I don't ever really plan on telling my kid that he could have had an older sibling. I don't know. I can see how this is an emotional situation for my ex, but I kind of want an outside opinion. Am I the a-hole? So, what do you think of these stories? Let me know in the comments below.